Hello everyone, Simeon here, and today I am very excited. Today's April 19th, and you know what that means?
Do you know what that means?
No? Well, as of this video's release, it is the 19th year anniversary of the Angry Beavers.
This is an important day in Beaver history, Daggett.
Well, actually, it's a week or two before as I'm recording this, but as you're watching this, it's April 19th, meaning it's a 19th year anniversary. Exactly 19 years ago, on April 19th, 1997, the very first episode of the show aired on Nickelodeon. And now they've had 62 episodes and 4 seasons. And that is awesome. So ta-da, in honor of my favorite cartoon of all time's anniversary today, I will be counting down my top 10 favorite episodes of the show, hence this video's title. First off, a few things to point out. Firstly, this is just my opinion. If you like a different episode more or you don't agree with my list, that's perfectly fine. This is just my list. If you don't like it, make your own. Second, I have seen every episode of the show at least 5 times, so I know what I'm saying when I make this list, so don't think I'm biased. And finally, this rundown is a commentary/critique, which qualifies as fair use. It does not violate YouTube terms of service. I already said that at the beginning, but I really wanted to make sure you knew, because of that hassle that's been going around YouTube recently where fair use videos are being taken down. So I want to make that extra clear. Without further ado, let's begin.
Bum, 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 dramatic reverb.
Number 10, Damn Neva. Kicking off this list with a Season 4 episode, which in my opinion was the worst season. How appropriate. In this episode, while re-twigging the bottom of the dam, it drops on Norbert's head and he forgets who he is and gets amnesia. Daggett tries to get his memory back by hitting him on the head with a mallet, to which Norbert refuses to let him do. Daggett tries to teach him to be like himself, again to no avail. Then, he shows him some videos of him being mean to Daggett, which freaks him out. After watching a pre-recorded video of himself he made for the occasion, where Norbert says to let Daggett hit him on the head with the mallet, Norbert still refuses and changes his personality, renaming himself Troy. He begins to be nice to Daggett. Daggett is pleased, but after playing a game of sticks in the mud, Norbert falls, hits his head, and gets his memory back. Then Daggett hits his head and gets amnesia. The episode ends with them hitting each other. Aw, brotherly love.
You're the bestest brother in the whole big wide world.
You think?
Number 9, Utter Nonsense. Fun fact, this is the first episode where we see one of Norbert's secret rooms. In this episode, Norbert and Daggett, both of which need a special collector's edition Pluto Invades card to win a radio contest, jinx each other and cannot speak, otherwise a moogie pinch will ensue. Neither one of them wanting one, do a number of things to get each other to make them try to talk. Norbert puts hot sauce in Daggett's oatmeal, hoping it will make him scream. Daggett plays Norbert's favorite song, hoping it will make him sing along. After a few failed attempts, Norbert puts together a set of pre-recorded tapes which say words he plays in a certain order to make him able to speak without actually speaking. Daggett does the same with some VHS tapes. After they fight, their dam collapses and almost ripping each other's Pluto Invades card, both of them scream out, "No!" causing them to both lose a jinx. The episode ends with them moogie pinching each other. And that is why jinxing is never a good idea. Ever. I loved all the things that they do to make each other speak, which is definitely the highlight of the episode for me. And it made me smile the whole way through. Love it. Number 8, Shanghai. Have you ever wanted to win an argument but just couldn't? Well, in this episode, Daggett gains the ability to do just that. The magical bowling lady from a previous episode, Alley Oops, gives him the ability to tell off his brother. Whenever Norbert makes it angry, Daggett grows into a giant obese beaver and sings. Norbert is shocked at first, but after he hears one of his songs, he likes it and decides to record it and make millions. So, Daggett just decides to sing his own voice, which... let's see how that plays out.
I'm no stoopy poopy beaver! I'll show you my brother!
Yeah, that didn't go well. Anyway, the ability to sing is taken away from him, and they are now cursed. Of dancing forever. I love Daggett's singing voice in this episode. The "I am no stupid poopy beaver" song is my highlight of this episode.
I am no stoopy poopy beaver!
Number 7, A Little Dad'll Do Ya. This would be a great episode for Father's Day. After their mother and sisters leave for the week, Norbert and Daggett's father pays them a visit. Daggett is happy to see his father and plays along with all of his little games, whereas Norbert, believing he's too mature and grown up for this, continues to keep getting embarrassed by his father's antics, even asking Norbert if Treeflower was his girlfriend. Oh man, that's embarrassing. After telling them he only came to visit them because he was lonely, Norbert and Daggett agreed to come to his and his mother's dam after their own dam collapses. The whole family's back together. Aw, how sweet. Number 6. Long in the Teeth. My favorite episode of Season 1. Filled with numerous funny gags and lots of entertaining visual humor, it takes my top spot of best Season 1 Angry Beavers episodes. After Norbert lets his teeth grow to a dangerously long length, Daggett tries to warn me better chew and wears down his teeth, otherwise his teeth will grow longer and twist in weird ways around him, and might even suffocate him. Norbert ignores these warnings, and soon he becomes fashionable because of this. Daggett, jealous, decides to let his teeth grow long as do all the other animals, but they soon realize that it can be a pain and lead to lots of other problems. So, all the animals wear down their teeth while Norbert and Daggett don't. Soon, their teeth twist around them in weird ways, and the episode ends with all the other animals laughing at them as they are left hanging on a tree. That's where the episode ends. That's the problem with fashion trends. They only stick around for so long. Better jump on the next one before you're too far behind.
For the love of dog, has the whole world gone mad?
Halfway through the list now. Number 5. Fever, fever. Oh, you knew this would have an appearance on the list. After being heard singing a disco song, a record label executive has him record the song, and it becomes a big hit in the US, the world, and things that are bigger than that. Soon, they become bigger than sliced bread. Literally. But the money gets to their heads, and they get mad at each other so that they even refuse to talk to each other, so they hire 2 people that will go back and forth and say what they want to say to each other. Eventually, the record label owner demands that they release a new song, otherwise he will confiscate their horror movies and footy pajamas. Well, the last bit's bad news for Daggett. Eventually, they come out, but sing the same song as before, and they lose their following, which has moved on to Barry's new song. And damn, that song is catchy, even if they are one-hit wonders. That's why it's number 5 on the list. Number 4. Silent but Deadly. This episode is essentially the Angry Beavers equivalent of the SpongeBob episode Reef Blower or the Fairly Oddparents episode Pipe Down. No dialogue. Well, actually there is some dialogue, but it's extremely limited, and save for a total of 10 seconds of it, the episode is complete silence. Well, except for music. Upon waking up and discovering their dam is full of wolverines, Norbert and Daggett, without saying anything to wake them up, try to strategize a way to get out of their bedroom. They try various things, including climbing across a lamp cord to their door, putting a message on a fly to ask for help, and even turn their bunk beds into a catapult to catapult them out of the room. The latter works, but in a way that is too complicated to explain, they end up back in their room. Eventually they escape the wolverines, but wake them up, and upon outrunning them, feel relieved, they find the entire forest outside their dam is filled with them. This episode is built almost entirely on visual humor and gags, which is really all I can go for considering the episode has almost no dialogue in it, which it is a pretty funny episode. Definitely a unique episode in the series, considering it only has about 10 seconds of total dialogue. Great episode. Number 3. Brothers to the End. This episode, which takes place on December 31st, 1999, has Norbert, Daggett, and all their friends staying up till midnight, crossing over to the new year and the new millennium. As soon as the clock strikes midnight, Norbert and Daggett are suddenly teleported to an empty world of blackness, where they are told by a deep disembodied voice that they can now recreate the universe from scratch and start the world all over again any way they want. Well, I guess it's true what Carl Sagan said. Want to create an apple pie from scratch? First, recreate the universe. Upon creating their new world, things go smooth sailing for them at first, but everything falls apart after Norbert tells Daggett that he doesn't like baklava. I don't like baklava either, so I feel you, Norbert. This angers Daggett and eventually causes them to fight, turning into bigger and scarier monsters to destroy each other with. They eventually had to settle things by building robot troops to take down each other with, but they end up shorting out, destroying the universe, and sending them back to their own. Well, I guess we can all learn a lesson from here. Don't mess with what you got, you might lose it. I love this episode because of how intriguing the concept is of recreating the universe. It makes me wonder, did this actually happen on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 1999, when the clock struck midnight? I was 8 months old then, so I don't have a memory of that happening, but I wish I did. Number 2. Bite This. We all know what bedwetting is. It's common among children, yet embarrassing because it makes you pee in your sleep. But what if beavers had a similar childhood problem that was equally as embarrassing, but instead of peeing in your sleep, it made you, say, chew in your sleep? Well, such a beaver childhood problem exists. It's called bed biting. And in this episode, Norbert becomes an unfortunate victim. Shocked and mortified to learn this, he decides to build an invention that will stop this predicament. First, he tries to build a machine that will gently shock him awake if he bed bites, but to no avail. Next, he simply puts a record player on a loop beside his bed that says, "Norbert is not a bed biter," over and over. It works, but Daggett can't sleep with it on, so he throws his teddy bear at it, and the word "not" is taken out of the loop, turning into Norbert is a bed biter, which he once again becomes. After chewing down their dam, as well as most of the forest, and waking up to see this, Norbert embraces his habit, saying that everyone probably does something embarrassing at times. That's true. After fixing their dam, before going to sleep, Norbert punches his stomach to start the record player loop again because he swallowed it. Okay, that actually sounds like it hurts. I mean, imagine punching your stomach every night before you go to sleep.
Norbert is not a bed biter.
Well, on a positive note, bed biting wears down teeth, making the issue I discussed in episode number 6 irrelevant. And finally, drumroll please. Number 1. Another one bites the musk. Okay, so why is this episode my hands down favorite? Why did it smoke all the other 115 segments? Well, not only did the concept intrigue me to inspire a future music video of mine, click here, but there are so many funny gags and jokes in this episode that it made me smile the whole way through. I love Norbert and Daggett's gross-out expressions in this episode, and I also love the little gag at the map of the USA becoming pink and green as Norbert and Daggett travel through all the states. I thought that was very clever and hysterical. Alright, time for summary now. After discovering that beavers have scent glands called musks that can allow them to protect their property, Daggett abuses his by using on all Norbert's things, keeping him away from them. Upon discovering he has one too, Norbert uses his on Daggett's things. After trying to musk each other, their house collapses, and decide to build a new tree using the Wonder Tree of Wowie, and everything in between. After getting it, they discover they are out of musk fluid, and 2 lumberjacks musk it. And Norbert and Daggett too! The episode ends with them learning a lesson and sharing. Aw, great ending. Whew. And that was my list. I hope you enjoyed it.
That was nuts!
It certainly was, Daggett. Some honorable mentions I like to give are Mission to the Big Hot Thingy, Candid Creatures, and Present Tense. Also, yes, I'm going to watch a lot of episodes. I know a big fan favorite of a lot of AB fans is The Day the World Got Really Screwed Up, but to be honest, the Oxstar and Montalvo episodes never really amused me that much. Okay, this is just my opinion. If you don't like the list, you should make your own. Anyway, thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My Twitter is @SNorbertD1. My Instagram is SNorbertD, so follow me there. I'll see y'all later. Peace.